streaming computer, the one with the agenda, then one that I can watch the stream from.
Oh.
It's a Facebook chat.
If you get one more, I'm pouring water on it, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now.
All right, YouTube is up as well.
Hey, YouTube.
Okay. Now we actually have to start recording, unlike last time when I didn't hit the record button.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the record button there.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Gather the Nerds, episode 83. Ocho Trace, is that what we're going with?
Ocho Trace.
I'm Cav, that's Nick.
What's up?
Church is here.
Hey, guys.
We are live. We are back. Everybody is back in the house after coming back from Dallas and surviving Sunday. And,
yeah.
And then, it's been kind of a week, not going to lie. It's been,
Church is watching the stream as well, by the way.
No, I just saw the photo.
The Jersey Shore photo.
He's just peeking out.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we'll leave the Jersey Shore photo up for a second, and then we have more that he has done. Eventually we'll get to our logo, but throughout the episode, we're just going to kind of remove stuff, and then you're going to see.
Hey, do it to it, man.
Yeah.
Sam has been busy. I didn't even know it because he never said anything.
I am particularly proud of his work on Topper Tower. I'm not going to lie.
It is pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool. A lot to get into this week. You know, we've got the whole Stan Lee thing, which is...
I mean, it's just so many facets, yeah.
Yeah, bizarre beyond... It's just bizarre. It's Bizarro Stan Lee. Like, at this point, it's Bizarro Stan Lee. Some sports, Marvel, DC, some gaming stuff, movies, some more news on Terminator, some more tech news, things like that, and what could potentially be the future of Toys R Us. So, Church, where would you like to begin?
I think Church needs to choose for sure.
Toys R Us.
Okay.
You want to go with Toys R Us?
I do, actually.
At the very bottom of the agenda?
Is it Skynet? Is that the future of Toys R Us?
Not quite, but pretty close. The person who owns Bratz. Are you familiar with Bratz, Nick? You have a daughter?
Yeah. Thanks.
Wow,
yes.
that was mean.
I don't believe he was calling her a brat.
Bratz with a Z. Is that me?
No, that's me. Oh, epic fail.
Come on, Nick.
I'm rusty. So yes, I am familiar with brats. Yes, I know what they are. I think they're terrible myself.
Well,
they even have a cartoon, and Harper's watched it. The cartoon's actually not as bad as the dolls would seem.
Well, the guy behind Bratz, who's also behind Little Tykes, apparently, is a billionaire.
I believe it.
And he has entered a formal offer of $675 million to buy most of the Toys R Us stores in the U.S., along with pretty much every Toys R Us store in Canada. So they're saying he looks to buy 200 of the U.S. stores, almost all the 80 locations in Canada, use his own money for the bid, and get some financing along with banks and other investors as well. He basically says that Toys R Us going away is going to have a big negative impact on the toy business, and he wants Toys R Us to survive.
Yeah.
If he wants it to survive, they're going to have to change a lot. He started a crowdfunding.
Like prices.
Prices, stores, those things. He started
Clean the stores.
He started. Toys R Us does have a very distinct aroma.
It's like a Hastings.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
Is it just cheap Chinese cardboard and aging plastic?
I mean, we'll go with that. I don't believe that's what it actually is, but we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Little kid funk is what it is.
Little kid funk.
Mm-hmm.
Is it its own version of con funk? Is that what that is?
Oh gosh, yes.
Toys R Us
Yeah.
is Toys R Us funk. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Interesting. It's bad that you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but that's exactly what it is.
So they started a GoFundMe initially, trying to raise $1 billion, but he won't actually use any of that crowdfunding money, and those people will get refunded at least. Let's see, where did that end off? Let's see. They raised $200 million.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's
It's not bad.
not a bad deal. But yeah, he's smart to not use any of that money, because if he did, then those people might actually have to own a piece of it or something along those lines.
So how does that work, though? I mean, like, if you crowdfund all that and people pay into it and you decide not to use it...
He just refunds it all.
Oh, okay. You just give it back.
Yeah, he's just giving it back.
So what were the tiers of rewards, though?
That's a good question. Pay $1 million and you can be a store manager.
Yeah, right.
So
You actually get to own Jeffrey the giraffe.
the actual giraffe.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
He's a billionaire. He might have one.
It's a lot of stuff like
That is possible.
stickers, pins, magnets, some special edition like Little Tykes toys, hashtag Save Toys R Us, that type of thing. For $50,000, you get a Save Toys R Us sticker, pin, magnet. I'll always be a Toys R Us kid T-shirt and a block party for you and your friends.
Oh, that block party does it.
Yep. $25,000 gets you all of those things and a tour of the Little Tykes factory, which I assume is in China. The $10,000 gets you a Little Tykes makeover. And $5,000 gets you a Little Tykes Super Slam and Dunk, which probably costs 50 cents to manufacture.
A Super Slam and Dunk.
Some sort of
I'm not
toy,
even
I
sure
assume.
what that actually is.
Of course, all this says, please
Probably is.
read before donating and
I think
terms.
it's what Muggsy Bogues practiced on.
Because he was so
Muggsy
short.
Bogues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of a deep pull there. Oh, wait, there are
Spudweb.
there are tiers beyond this. Here we go. $75,000 gets you the block party and attend a special taping of Unboxed, including travel and accommodations. $250,000 gets you the block party and toys for 5 years from Toys R Us.
Done, except I don't have that.
$1 million gets you all of those things, a block party, a signed thank you letter from Isaac Laird, not Jeffrey, the CEO.
Dang it.
And I help save Toys R Us hero plaque at a Toys R Us location of your choosing.
Ooh.
$10 million gets you the block party, the thank you letter, a kid's CEO for a day experience, including a trip to Southern California theme park, travel accommodations, Toys R Us store dedication, naming rights for location of your choosing, and toys for life from Toys R Us.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Interesting. I mean, that's...
For $10 million, Toys for Life, I better be able to walk into any Toys R Us I want, grab something off the shelf, and walk out. Like
for life.
For life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the brand new Black Series just came out. Yep, that's mine.
I'll take
Got
those.
it.
They don't even
You can
go
do
on
that
sales.
right now.
Well, this is true.
They
I
will
believe it's
chase
called-
after you.
I was
and
going to say, I think that's called shoplifting.
It's called theft, yes.
Yeah. And at the price of those Black Series things, that might be
It might
might be
felony.
big time theft.
It
yeah.
might be grand larceny at that
Yeah.
price.
I mean, you get 5 of them, you're already at $100, so there's a felony.
Yes, indeed. Oh boy. So Toys R Us. We'll see what happens. There's been no comment from the people who are handling the Toys R Us liquidation right now, whether or not they're going to take him up on said offer.
I don't know. It's one of those things that I almost feel like they are not able to compete. Even if somebody
Yeah.
sells it, they're going to have to change the structure of it so much in order to compete in the market right now.
Yeah, I think. If they adopt like Walmart or Target style prices and update the atmosphere a little bit, I think they live. Just because kids, while they'll want toys, it'll become more of a destination thing.
Yeah.
I think.
I can see that.
But if I agree with you 100%. Like if they don't update prices, stuff like that, there is no point in doing this.
Well, and I mean, to be fair of them, they are retail, and I mean, I brought up Black Series figures from Star Wars. They're all the same price no matter where you go. There's not any place in town that has them for cheaper.
I feel like Toys R Us always is more expensive than everywhere else.
I mean, maybe. I don't
Kind of
know.
with you on that.
I'm just in that one vein. I
Yeah.
don't feel like they are. Maybe in other particular things like Batman or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like, for whatever reason, I'm like, I never would go to Toys R Us because like a $9.99 pop is $12.99.
Yeah, and
It's-
you know what? I've noticed that a lot of places, like Michael's even carries Funko Pops now, and they're $12.99 there. And it's just crazy.
Can you
It's
use a
like-
40%
You
off
can use
coupon?
a coupon. I have done this at Michael's to buy a Chase.
I get a teacher discount at Michael's. So,
there you go.
yes.
Can you combine the
Yeah,
coupon
can
with
you
it?
stack?
You can in some ways, not in all of them.
I need to become a teacher.
Yeah. Yesterday I was able to stack a 50% off coupon with a teacher discount, so it worked out.
Nice.
Worked out in my favor.
I support that.
Yeah.
So we've got, Toys R Us. We'll see what happens. We have 2 here, 21st and then Memorial.
I can't even believe that the 21st.
Is 21st still
lasted.
there? I thought that went out.
Yeah, I thought it did too.
I thought it did. I think it did. but
Oracle? Did it? Did you say something?
Shanna's here. So
I will Google it.
Oh, I thought you said something already. Sorry.
I don't know how that place even stayed open.
I think she has sharp objects, Church. Is it really a smart idea to poke at her right now?
She's going to find a reason regardless. I might as well make it worth it.
You're going to come into, like, next time we record, you come in and you're actually going to be cross-stitched in your arm?
It would not be the first time.
It's like, everyone can get tattoos, man. I got threads. Like, that's all you
I
need.
think there's a subculture for that kind of thing.
By the way, I got threads.
Cross-stitching in your skin?
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, I got threads as our title.
Threads with a
I got
Z.
threads.
You gotta
Threads
put
with a
threads
Z.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta get a Z in there.
I got threads with a Z.
I mean, you have a Jersey Shore picture up, so it's got to have a Z in the title.
All right. Now the question is it I got threads and you do it with a Z and you still add with a Z? Like I got threads with a Z or just threads?
I think
with a Z?
just the Z.
I got threads.
I think if we put with a Z, we look more nerdy than we actually are. It's like you're not smart enough to understand this joke, so we're gonna spell it out for you.
Spell it out. I got threads, like parentheses with a Z. Parentheses. That's what it is right there.
It's still pronounced the same, just different letter,
yep, that's what
different
it is.
consonant.
That's what it is right there. Man, that's a good one. I like that one. Sam's gonna have some fun with that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
speaking of Sam's fun, let's take down Jersey Shore.
They
And
took themselves down.
And let's show Topper Tower, which is pretty amazing. Thank you for that, Sam. That's pretty awesome. So Facebook is behind just a touch, and so
Sam's the man.
Sam is yep, there it is, Topper Tower, live on Facebook. So
Sam should have totally done something for Rex Manning Day.
Rex Manning.
He should
Day.
have just done something for Rex Manning Day.
All right, so let's get into the rest of the agenda for this week. We want to start with this bizarre stuff with Stan Lee, or do we want to get the sad stuff out of the way? They're both kind of sad.
Let's get the extra sad stuff out of the way, because Stan Lee's sad, but there's maybe some hope.
Of course there is.
No, I didn't mean that.
There's always hope.
That's the thing, is like he hates the word so much, we can't even use it normally now, because he's like, of course.
Of
there is.
But
course
then
there
he
is.
drops it like literally 4
All the
times an
time.
episode.
I
All
do
the
just for
time.
fun.
Yeah, right? Like, you
Yeah,
catch yourself
I'm
doing
sure.
that. I don't believe that for a second.
Oh yeah, because you don't always catch it whenever I do it. I always catch it.
I've seen
when
you say it and
yeah,
visibly
no, I-
stutter over there.
So let's talk about this for a
What's the
minute.
sad stuff here?
Let's talk about the Humboldt Broncos in
Stuff where there's no
Saskatchewan.
hope.
Pretty much, yeah. So there was this is a youth hockey team in Saskatchewan who was on their way to a semifinal game and was broadsided by a truck carrying basically sod. 15, I believe, people died, including the coach, I think the bus driver, several of the players. Now, the only reason I bring this up is because I spent a lot of time around youth hockey the past few months, and the sheer family aspect of what has happened after this tragedy blows my mind. So they started a couple things where it's like you put your hockey stick out on the front porch is just kind of a thing, it's a memorial thing, stuff like that. But it's the fundraising for the team and the families is what it is absolutely mind-boggling. So they started a GoFundMe, like many people do, 8 days ago for this, after this happened, because this happened while we were in Dallas.
Yeah, and I actually didn't even think it was in Canada. I thought it was in Europe, just when I glanced up.
So the Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team, they set up a GoFundMe for 8 days. 8 days ago, a goal of $4 million. As of a couple minutes ago, they're at $11.5 million from 129,361 people. Now, in a world full of where every time you turn on CNN, Fox News, whatever your flavor happens to be, it is nothing but, gas attacks, porn stars, and presidents. Like, seeing people come together and to do something like this. And the thing that's crazy is this is not getting, when it happened, it got press. But everything that's happened after the fact, nothing. Like, ESPN's covered it some because the NHL teams are doing a lot of stuff, a lot of, memorial stuff and things like that. But $11.5 million, 129,000 people from untold number of countries just goes to show just how close these, this group of people is, and when good people come together, what can actually happen. So it is, an absolute tragedy to be sure. But man, it is it's nice to see in today's age that not everyone is as cynical as I am. So, but no, it's, I just wanted to share that. If you're looking forward, if you're unfamiliar with what happened, just Google it. And then there's, just Google, Humboldt Broncos, GoFundMe, and you'll find that page.
So the GoFundMe says that they're offering help to the Broncos families who need assistance in getting getting to
places. Yeah. That's WestJet's doing that too. So yeah, WestJet came in and basically they're flying people where they needed to go after this happened.
In order to be with the family for, funerals and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Because if you're a travel hockey team, you are all over the place. Mm-hmm. And Canada is obviously pretty huge. And so
I mean, it's pretty good size.
So can you imagine that something like this happens and you're 8 hours away by car or 12 hours away by car? Because some of these things, like when they go play, especially as they get older, they go, they may live with a host family or something like that. They may not be coming from their house. They just may be 12 hours away to go play hockey, and that's where they live and things like that. And so, that's a nightmare beyond comprehension for a parent. And so, yeah, WestJet stepped up and started helping get people there. And there'll be help for the families and things like that.
Have they stated anything that they'll be doing with the extra money? Because obviously $11 million is probably going to be more than enough.
It should be more than enough. They haven't yet. It's the Broncos Association is taking care of it right now. So I'm sure that they'll probably, if I had to guess, there'll probably be scholarships or stuff like that in those kids' names, things like that. It is it's a. I have a feeling there will be a lot of good that comes out of this. So
I mean, it's a terrible thing that happens, and unfortunately, it took the lives of a lot of young people. But unfortunately, these things do happen, and it wasn't out of any malice, just maybe inattention.
Yeah, they haven't really said what. I mean, we know what caused it, but there hasn't been any talk of fault or anything like that. And there may not be. Could
be human error. I mean, that does happen.
Very well could be. I mean, so yeah, this is a tragedy to be sure, but, people coming together from all over the world. So, we always like to, we might talk about a lot of, crazy stuff or nerdy stuff or negative stuff, but we also like to talk about the good stuff and what people are doing in this.
Absolutely.
But there is, I know we started this story with one where there is no hope, not making any jokes here. But, this does show that there is sometimes, you're right, Nick, things will happen, tragedies will happen, but it does show the goodwill that still exists. That is sometimes very hard to see. Until something like this happens. So there still is hope out there. And fortunately for these people that are going through this right now, there is love that is being sent towards them.
Yeah.
For that type of thing.
Over 100,000, like I said, over 129,000 people donated. Countless people have done tributes and things like that, taken pictures of the hockey sticks on the porch and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it is a tragedy and something that, we'll kind of keep an eye on a little bit and see, what they do. But the NHL, NHL is going into playoff seasons right now. And so I know a lot of teams are going to do some things for them, which is really cool. So from one sad story to a bizarre story, let's talk about Stan Lee and what in the holy Hades is going on over there, because I don't even know that I know at this point.
I mean, it's a portfolio of things that are happening for this man.
And that's the thing. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. At the very beginning, there was talk of that he wasn't well.
Mm-hmm. People were really saying that, like, at whatever convention he was at recently, that he looked very unwell. And the photos that I had seen that had made it to the internet, you don't really necessarily know the time frame of the photos that I was looking at, but every single one of them looked like a man who was tired.
Yeah.
And, potentially unhealthy. I mean, it did not look like the Stan Lee that even we saw in Dallas
Yeah.
a year ago, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, things with his health have been documented very well in terms of what he's been battling. But like I said, the images that I saw, and again, we don't necessarily know the time frame of which those were taken. They could have been over many years. It painted a picture that made it look like he might be, having failing health a little bit sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that that's not the case, obviously. But it is possible that
He's
at
94,
I think,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, our bodies give out at some point. So
Yeah, and so yeah, some of the stuff that came out of the Silicon Valley Comic-Con was people telling him how to spell his name, all these other things.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of the videos were, kind of showed that too. And it was, and sometimes, yeah, he looked tired. He looked unwell. Kevin Smith had even said, when there were allegations of abuse and stuff like that, said, "Hey, come live with me."
yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I mean, granted, we know that, and if you've listened to this podcast at all, we've explained that Kevin Smith is basically just a richer version of us. You know what I mean? He's obviously funnier too.
Yeah, he's way funnier.
But my point is I mean, like, he is a genuine nerd, and he wants to preserve nerd culture as much as possible. And he's a big fan of Stan Lee, because how couldn't you be?
Yep.
And so as a result of that, it's one of those things that he was kind enough to offer Stan Lee to live with him, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, because there was a lot of discussion about people taking for his money and stuff like that, and
They're taking advantage of him.
taking advantage of it. And one of the people that is accused of this has been his daughter as well, and some former business managers and things like that. And so finally, after this, nothing really had come out, and then Stan Lee drops this bombshell of a video, and you're not used to seeing Stan Lee curse at people, and he was not having it.
Because he's an older gentleman. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. He comes from a time where, you only cursed when you really needed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he felt like he needed to, because he was going to sue somebody's, what.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's denying all the claims and basically saying that he's going to sue everybody who's making these claims against his managers and things like that. And it's this whole convoluted thing. Like, it's crazy. And then Stan Lee sues his ex-business manager.
Yeah, it was very weird timing, given the fact that this video, came out, maybe the day before the article broke about him suing his ex-manager.
Yeah.
So it's a little confusing as to what the logic is behind why he made the video to begin with. And I mean, I get that sometimes information comes out after you make a decision. Like, I'm going to sue you if this doesn't stop, if you don't stop slanderizing us and all that kind of thing. And then you find out something, and then all of a sudden you got to change course. But it just seems very off the wall to me.
It does, and what they're saying now is that because we've talked over several episodes talking about how people were buying property in his name and all that other stuff.
And apparently, this guy that he's suing is tied directly to it.
Allegedly, yeah, he's allegedly tied directly to it. $1 million in real estate, $300,000 in other funds as well. Also, the person who pushed one of Lee's live-in nurses to extract a copious amount of Stan Lee's blood, which ended up being used to sign some Black Panther comics that pop up for sale in Las Vegas, of all places.
It just
the
keeps
look on
getting
Shanna's face is
creepier
priceless.
and creepier. And that's one of the saddest things I think I've seen, is the fact that this guy has brought so much joy to so many people, just through his running of Marvel, his creation of certain characters. It's just sad to see that somebody's taking advantage of an elder, whether he wants to call it abuse or not.
Yeah.
He's definitely struggling with the circumstances he's finding himself in.
Yeah, and all this happened after his wife died. And apparently his wife was also the one who kind of kept the daughter at bay for the most part.
Okay.
Because they had set up a trust for her and things like that, and she kept wanting more, and it was the wife who kind of kept her away. And so
maybe she's pouncing at the moment.
Some people might be taking advantage of the situation. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's definitely what it appears to be.
Yeah, because it went from like nothing whenever she was with us to once when she passed. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, who could have guessed that what was it, 4 or 5 months ago when the story first really started, where we were hearing that, money had been stolen out of his account, a check had been made out to an agency that he was sure he didn't sign, and had called the police about it. And we thought, man, this is terrible. People are stealing money from Stan, it sounds like. Who would have thought that several months later we would be at this point? We thought it would probably get found out. People would be responsible about it, dig into the story, find out what happened. Those who were guilty would be held liable for it. It just feels like either it's something that's been made up and there's a lot of misinformation that's being reported, or that people aren't doing what someone needs to be doing to find out, to protect him.
Well, and then there's the other aspect of it is, with him being so much older, there is a possibility that in his own mind he's kind of fabricating some of this as well.
Very potential.
Not remembering to sign a check. I don't want to accuse him of that, but
and you're not.
And it's one of those things that I in my mind it makes me sick, because this is an older gentleman who's being taken advantage of one way or the other.
I agree. Yeah,
and whether he's knowledgeable of it and just forgetting it, or if somebody else, I don't know, but something bad's happening and somebody's not looking after this man.
Yep.
Do people need to be? And I'm not saying one thing is happening one way or the other, but obviously a lot of people believe that there is some funny business happening. Does someone need to be stepping in more than they already are, and just, because a lot of people are raising awareness of it. Kevin volunteered his house, which was Stand Up Move by Kevin. I'm sure that would also be a dream come true for Kevin.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is my chance to live with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But
that'd be like his daughter Harley being able to live with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
It's the same equivalent.
So, but does someone need to be stepping in and maybe legally?
Yeah,
and having this looked at.
See, the thing is, I don't know how you get there, because for all intents and purposes, he looks, for lack of a better word, sane. He looks within his faculties, and to take over someone's estate like that, basically what happened with Britney Spears when she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, that takes a lot of work, and you would never get it done. You would never get it done, because he's got so much money to make sure it doesn't happen, and the people around him are going to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but by not starting that process, or at least not even making an attempt, then you're consigning yourself to saying, it is the way it is. I'll never be able to fix it for him, and it's not really my problem.
The problem is, I don't know who would, because his only basically living relative at this point is his daughter, and she may be at the center of it.
It doesn't have to be a relative.
I don't know who you get.
Well, it's not going to be a person that we know, because we don't know his circle. We don't know his acquaintances, with the exception of the ones that are public.
It's got to be Kevin Smith.
That's from a legal standpoint.
Jason Mewes.
He can Jason Mewes defending Stan Lee, Your Honor. Snoogans.
Yeah, exactly. I think the thing that worries me the most isn't so much the fact that it's a financial strain on Stan Lee to deal with all of this, but it's the stress that it's going to induce. The consequences of that stress on someone who's 94.
Yeah.
Is not going to be good.
It is, but you'd like to see something change, because
of course, absolutely.
If the videos are accurate, he does look so bad right now.
And the thing is, in the video he posted regarding this stuff, he does not look or sound bad. He looks and sounds like Stan Lee.
Well, that's true.
And so the video, he says, "Hi, this is Stan Lee, and I'm calling on behalf of myself and my friend Kia Morgan. Now, you people have been publishing the most hateful, harmful material about me and about my friend Kia and some others. Material which is totally incorrect, totally based on slander, totally the type of thing that I'm going to sue your bleep off when I get a chance. You've been accusing me and my friends of doing things that are so unrealistic or unbelievable. and I don't know what to say. It's as though you suddenly have a personal vendetta against me and against the people I work with. Well, I want you to know I'm going to spend every penny I have to put a stop to this and to make you sorry that you've suddenly gone on a one-man campaign against somebody with no proof, no evidence, no anything. But you've decided that people are mistreating me and therefore going to publish those articles. I'm going to get the best and most expensive lawyers I can. I want you to know that if you don't stop these articles and publish retractions, I'm going to sue your bleep off.
And see,
Well,
that's...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
That's another thing where if someone looked into it or if a court looked into it, it would possibly settle that as well. The fact that this has not, I mean, we would not hear about it if it has been. But if it hasn't been, then that kind of leads me to believe that things are not possibly as they're being reported. Stan may be in better condition and the situation is not what we're being led to believe.
He may be in, here's the like, because Nick and I can attest to, like, when you're at a con, and heck, we're not signing or anything like that, but like that's a tiring experience.
Yeah.
And he's 90 something years old. Maybe he's perfectly fine, just not fit for the con circuit anymore. And so maybe the con video looked worse than he actually was because I'm tired.
I would probably look like that right now.
Well, I mean, I think probably the more concerning aspect of the con side of things is the fact that it's reported that he was forgetting to spell his name.
Now, I saw that reported in text. I didn't see a video of that.
Exactly.
The video
And
was
so-
a little inaccurate as to what the text actually said. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's part of the problem with this whole situation, which makes it look even more confusing as a whole, because he's talking about suing Gerardo Alvarez, which no, I said that wrong.
Well, that's
Alvarez,
that's
which
his,
is his ex-manager.
yeah.
Not the people that are accusing
No,
of taking advantage of him.
It just
So-
not the people publishing those articles. Like that's
Right,
the
right.
yeah.
But also though he's not defending anybody else. Like he's not defending this guy and then the next day saying he's going to sue him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't know in the timeline where this guy is compared to these articles.
The
now.
current people.
I don't know
exactly.
where it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, the only thing you have in terms of getting him potentially help if there's a problem is if there is evidence of an elder abuse claim, then the authorities get involved. And then you
Right.
start that roll.
Right.
that roll. But that's the thing. If he's saying there's not, and there's not clear-cut evidence that there is, I don't know what the police can do. Like,
Well, and it could even be that there was at some point and there currently is not.
Yeah.
Which might be why he's suing the other person.
where's Captain America when you need him?
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things that it's sad to keep seeing reports, but it's also very difficult to get any real information out of them. It's kind of like our news as a whole. I mean, truthfully,
Yeah.
it's like one station reports that the sky's blue, the
That is
other one
not
says it's
inaccurate.
purple. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, it might be purple at a certain time of the day. Like how can you really tell? So
There was a picture of Stan and Todd McFarlane that Todd posted. That he said he sat down and visited with Stan for a while, stuff like that. And he basically said, he's 94. He's sharp but he's tired and whatever. But he's 94. But on the flip side, someone like Kevin Smith can't get in touch with him. So I don't know. It's a weird situation. Something that's going to require a lot of attention over the next few. months.
this is not the end of these articles, unfortunately.
No.
And I think that's probably the saddest part of it all.
Yeah.
Like we should be reporting things like Stan Lee creates new characters, Marvel's stock prices soar.
Yeah.
Positive news about Stan Lee, not necessarily these sadder stories.
Well, and it's going to be
This is turning into a saga.
Ooh.
saga.
Not
Not to make light of it.
no,
but
I'm not. It's turning into what we would have hoped would have been a 1 month. Oh, hey, they figured out what happened. It was a mistake with the check.
Yeah.
It's turning into a storyline.
Well, if you
Unfortunately.
if you think of
Yeah.
it too, and if he starts filing suit against all these people, stuff like that, that may be evidence of, like you said, him not being as sharp as we think he is. Some sort of diminished mental capacity, something like that. If, like you said, if stuff that doesn't make any sense, if he's defending this person and suing them the next day or something like that, it's going to be worth. We're going to have to watch it, and you just hope that the people around him are good people. The guy who's running his forensic accounting right now is Tobey Maguire's brother. And so, I mean, you would assume that he would be a trustworthy individual, but I don't know.
His brother played Spider-Man.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
very
I don't know.
true.
I mean, yeah, you would hope that people that are stepping in at this point wouldn't be trying to join the party. They
Yeah.
would be trying to help the problem.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some positive Marvel news now that we've brought
Yay.
everybody down so much.
All right, guys, see ya. That's the end of the show. Bye.
Bye. Jessica Jones season 3 coming back for Netflix.
Kind of excited. Now, have you finished Jessica
I have
Jones?
not finished season
Dude.
2, and apparently I need to watch
Let me
Lost
back
in
up.
Bro. I know. Apparently I need to watch
Bruh.
Lost in Space. Bruh.
Come on, bruh.
Come on, bruh.
Lost in Space is getting some traction, man.
Yes,
Vile
it
con
is.
Dios, man.
Yeah, I've also heard Lost in Space is awesome. I still
Yeah,
haven't
Mitchell
finished,
said it was
I still
great.
haven't finished Punisher either. Like,
I have not finished Punisher, and I don't know why.
Church, just put that bag down.
He's got jelly beans.
Oh, yeah, he does. See, at least when I ate the Skittles, like, the bag was silent.
Oh, you thought so, huh?
You weren't, though. That's the thing.
I wa-
It sounded like you had a mouthful of marbles.
Jessica Jones coming back.
He
for
doesn't
season
know it.
3.
I've eaten like 5 handfuls
I
of
know,
jelly
I've seen
beans
you- I've
already.
seen
You've been
sneaking
really
down.
silent. Like, I've been really impressed,
I
actually.
just moved it up onto the chair in case
Because
Nick wanted any.
the size of the hole in the bag's gigantic. like, you can just stick in
yeah,
the
sure.
Well,
It's
the,
perfect.
the bag is on the stream, just so you know. Yeah, there it is.
Now it's really on the stream.
So,
That is really loud.
it really is. So, Jessica Jones is coming back for season 3. Not surprising. It's
It's
probably.
really good.
It's got to be. I mean, Daredevil was great, but Jessica Jones has. They had. I'm not sure they were prepared for Jessica Jones to be as popular as Jessica Jones is. It just hit at the
I don't
right
know.
time.
I mean, when I watched Jessica Jones, I didn't have a whole lot of background other than what you and I talked about, for a brief minute, right as you were in New York and they had the chalk everywhere and I was asking you what it was about. And, I watched it and I agree with you. I think it was just at the right time. It coincided with, kind of where society was at that moment, I think. But it's also such a different take on a superhero, even though Jessica Jones would like crush my skull for calling her a superhero.
Apparently at cons, she gets asked to punch people a lot.
I believe it.
Does
And-
she oblige?
She does.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she does.
She said she gets asked to punch. She's like, the number one thing get asked for at cons is for
We got to
me
go to
punch
a con
somebody.
where she's at.
Like in a photo or just like actually punch them.
Actually punch them. And so she will.
Gosh, I would.
I don't think she would in the face, but I'm sure.
I'm gonna
that she
say like
slings them
I
in
would.
their
I'd
arms.
have a feeling like you got to get that on video that they're requesting to be hit.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's no
'cause,
kidding. Yeah.
Like I mean, that's like, oh, she hit me. I'm suing her.
Yeah, it was. Of course, you have 200 witnesses.
Hey
around
man,
you. Yeah.
anybody could see anything and say anything. If it's not on video, it doesn't happen at this point.
True.
But no, I think Jessica Jones is one of those things that it's such an interesting take because we're used to seeing really strong masculine superheroes, and she's like puts the superhero label on its own head. You know what I mean? She's like
Yeah.
an anti-hero, but not an anti-hero. Like she wants to do good, but she doesn't want to be referred to as a superhero. And she's freaking tough. It's amazing.
Kristen Ritter said, "I love playing Jessica Jones so much. It's such a great part. It's like an embarrassment of riches. I get to do drama, be vulnerable, do scenes with amazing scene partners, and she's funny. I do action sequences. I mean, it's just the best role ever. Season 1 was so exciting, and that for season 2, I just want to throw my whole self into the role, go even deeper, and learn more about Jessica."
I mean, I think she did.
I think they timed it well with the release as well of season 1 and got an added shot in the arm. Daredevil had come out and boosted a lot of the attention on what was going to be the Netflix Marvel shows. So everyone was just clamoring and waiting for that second show to come out. They dropped Jessica Jones as the second show, and not many, people kind of know who Iron Fist is. They'd kind of probably heard of Luke Cage. I didn't know much about Jessica Jones even.
I didn't.
I would think if, let's say, let's turn back time a little bit like Doctor Strange, and let's say that Iron
Or
Fist
Cher.
Or I was going to say Cher.
and
Thing keeps moving.
I can't. I can't.
Why is
okay.
this on the table? I don't know, but my water is on the ground.
Yeah, no,
I don't know why this is on the table.
That's so you can take it for school. I have
No, I mean,
I've got four more.
I
for
get
you.
that, but like in the world where I knock things over constantly,
There's no chips in there. There's nothing at risk.
but it makes noise and you're rolling your eyes like it's my fault that you put it around. A
It did. It
table.
kept moving over here on its own.
Yep.
Nick was not touching it. It was poltergeisting.
Okay, so let's turn back time like Cher, and
You can find a way.
yeah. Nice.
Said it as I thought it.
And they
Gosh,
drop
I'm gonna
they
cry.
drop and they drop Iron Fist first.
Yeah.
It
They-
tanks.
I
It's
think
over
I
with.
think the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yep.
Like,
And I don't really understand why Iron Fist was such kind of a letdown, but it really was. Compared to the other ones.
that's exactly why it's a letdown.
Yeah,
Compared
yeah.
to the other ones, that character, like the commonality between Daredevil, Jessica Jones, even Luke Cage, is there's that kind of darkness to all of them, that dark grittiness to all of them. Whereas Danny Rand has been stuck on a mountain in the snow making snow angels for however long.
preparing to fight the Hand.
When he comes back, he's still a kid, and a kid in a kid mentality
True.
is not dark, it's not gritty, it's annoying.
True.
Like,
He just has one objective, and he's not. One
yeah,
of the
he's
flesh.
singular focus, and so he has no investment in the people around him, like the neighborhoods or his friends or
Well-
things like that. That like Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones all have.
Well, and do you think that also with Daredevil, like you get, like, okay, so in Daredevil you get names that you know, like
Yeah.
Kingpin. You
Yes.
get Kingpin, like that is a well-known character. He has fought Spider-Man, Punisher. I mean, he is the man, and so you know you recognize that name, and that gives it a little bit more credibility. Plus, Daredevil, like you said, it's a real-world superhero.
And hate the
So to
movie,
speak.
and hate the Affleck movie all you want. That put Daredevil,
I don't.
whether you like it or not, that introduced Daredevil to a whole bunch of people who may not
Absolutely.
have thought about Daredevil until now, when that came back out. Like I said, I don't mind the movie. I like
even
the
thought
movie.
the Elektra movie itself wasn't as like. I mean, it's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it's not bad.
It's Jennifer Garner. I don't care. Like,
and there's that.
it's I mean, it is. So yeah, you start with somebody like Daredevil who's at least well known, and then you go from there. So yeah, like you said, I think you're right. Both of you are right. It's like Jessica Jones dropped at the right time in society.
Well, and
You
then you
know.
had David Tennant.
Oh god,
You
David
know,
Tennant.
like
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that he is the main protagonist in the whole series, that first season, that sells the character. Not that Jessica Jones herself needs to be sold, but it made the storyline so much better. I feel like because you see her inner torment with all of the past that you don't even know.
and you also bring all the Doctor Who people over.
Yeah, that's another good point
And
too.
That's
and for
the point.
Tenet, that is a gigantic following.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't surprise me in the slightest if that was not a. I mean, Tenet is great and an amazing actor, but it would not surprise me in the slightest if that wasn't a strategic decision. Like
Could be,
you
yeah.
know, we're going to bring over 1 million Doctor Who fans because everybody loves Tenet to watch this show. And
Well,
then-
he's done an amazing thing where he's crossed over. He's not so much typecast.
yeah, that's that you. Yeah, it's a good point.
He's an amazing actor, and he won't be contained by that.
That's true. That's a good point. So a lot of people. That's why a lot of people stay away from Doctor Who.
That is.
is
Yeah.
because they will be typecast as the Doctor.
didn't
And
know
so
Now he's Dr. Kilgrave.
I
Now
still
it's
think
Dr.
it's
Kilgrave,
I
the
still
man
think
in
it's
purple.
crazy.
If I ever
whenever-
meet someone named that in a hospital, I'm just walking
Like,
out.
I'm sorry, I
Be
can't
like,
do this.
I am okay, sir. Your leg is falling off. I do not care.
You know what? That's fine.
I
You
feel
know what?
great. I
I
feel
f-
great.
I'm going to hop to a different hospital, please.
Sir, that's the morphine kicking in. I'm good.
I
I'm
feel
totally
like
all right.
that is a cosplay waiting to happen.
Dr. Kilgrave.
Dr. Kilgrave. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw Jessica Jones when we were in Dallas. Did you?
Yeah. The which jeans, black leather jacket.
Yeah.
What if you just have David Tennant Doctor with the suit, except the suit,
Is purple.
the 3D glasses, the chucks, all of it purple.
I think it works.
And the
I
TARDIS is
think so,
purple.
too. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so,
I mean,
too.
you'd have to drag a TARDIS around, but
You know.
Yeah, but it's a TARDIS. I mean,
it's the
it is
purple
what it is.
box.
Yeah. The purple
Um,
box.
You can even mash it up with
but it doesn't say
the guy
poli-
from Ant-Man.
But it
that
doesn't
shrinks the
say
building.
police box. What does it say?
If
If it's purple, it can't be the. I mean, police box would. I mean, that would help the
implies
crossover.
safety though.
No, exactly.
Telephone.
Insane asylum. Enter here for help. Isn't that what it says? Like, open here for help. Isn't that what's on the front of the box?
It would say you want to invite me in.
Something like that.
Yeah, there you go. So when I saw the Jessica Jones, the lady that was dressed as Jessica Jones, she had a camera, but she didn't have like the satchel or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I could, because it was the only day in Dallas that it was like freezing outside. I couldn't tell. Did she just by luck dress that way, or did
Do you
is this
realize you're
intentional?
a
Because she
perfect
was,
Jessica Jones?
she was taking pictures like she was media, but she didn't have any media on or
Yeah.
any pass or anything on. So I couldn't figure it out, but I didn't say anything to her. I just thought, wow, that's a pretty cool costume. And then later thought about like,
Yeah.
maybe she wasn't in costume. Like maybe
Maybe
on the
that
off
was the
chance that we're
real
in Dallas
Jessica
at-
Jones.
Well, maybe the off chance we're in Dallas and it's 40 degrees outside. Maybe she's just dressed that way. Like that's a possibility too.
Always a possibility. So,
Was she carrying a bottle of bourbon?
oh, that would have been.
I did
great,
see one
Yeah.
that had a bottle of bourbon.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Was
missed
that outside the?
No, it was inside.
On
Well,
the
I mean,
street?
let me say it this way: it was a bottle that resembled a bourbon bottle. It had a bourbon label, like Jack Daniels or something on it, but I don't know what was in it. Does that make like, I don't know. It might have even been the same lady that I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I saw a
It was
lot
later
of-
in the
there-
day.
There were a lot of people at Dallas this
It was
year
a
that were
long
dressed up
day.
in really fantastic costumes, like
agree.
not just like off the wall, like over the top costumes that they're trying to get more attention for than the character's actually worth, kind of a thing. But they were like they were top notch costumes this
You
year.
know, that would actually be a great cosplay if you're an alcoholic.
True.
You could
I'm
just
just
think
playing.
about it. I'm just
I'm
playing.
just
I'm in
playing.
character.
Yeah.
Or Tony Stark.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh, but unfortunately, we will not be seeing Jessica Jones, Daredevil, things like that in Infinity War, and the movie is also not as long as we think.
Was it 2 hours?
So the last month it was reported at 156 minutes. So you're talking 2 hours 36 minutes if I'm doing my maths correctly. So
Do we need to consult the Googles?
we don't need to
figure
consult the Googles.
No, it's 2:36.
Apparently now the official runtime, according to an Irish cinema chain, is 1 hour 49 minutes and 9 seconds.
Are we sure they remember it all?
Maybe there's some
Just saying.
editing going on, but
Okay.
so basically 2.5
It's quite a
hours.
drastic slash there.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge.
That's 7 minutes. Like
Wait. How long did you say?
it was going to be 156. Now it's 149.
Oh, I thought you said an hour 49.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
did too. That's why I was
Be
like,
like,
149
what?
minutes, so 2.5.
Yeah. It's like you're gonna see Thanos land, and then the show's over. You know what I mean?
It's like, what up, dog? And then
Is the whole-
that's the whole Captain
He's going to
America
get out of the
thing.
ship and
No.
go, to be concluded.
half the movie is literally him just flying to Earth.
I,
Like, man, I'm really hungry. I'm out.
Oh,
of
like
food.
The Last Jedi?
so they,
Yeah, pretty
Sorry,
much.
sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
burn. They so yeah, 2.5 hours. I did see a really great meme of it was a cartoon of Captain America and Hulk, and it's Hulk basically trying to crush Captain America, and Captain America's holding his hand above his head. He's like keep pressing harder. I need to be able to do this for 2.5 hours. So,
That's hilarious.
yep. So they're going to be doing that. So now we know that Infinity Wars is obviously is near, very near. And there'll be another Avengers movie after that. But there's an interesting talk. Someone did an interview with the Russo brothers, and they seem very interested in a little something called Secret Wars. And if you think about this, if you bring Secret Wars, you bring the X-Men, and you bring Fantastic Four, and even Deadpool into the MCU officially. This is interesting.
Did you just say Superman?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Superman
he's the secret.
and Batman, Aquaman,
Sweet.
They
Wonder
hoped he
Woman.
would come.
Batmite,
So
Man-Bat,
Bat?
Mr.
Bat?
Freeze.
okay,
Batman,
listen.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was reading something and I heard man. I'm dumb. I
There's
don't know what
only
else to say.
one.
This isn't Highlander, man.
So they're talking about how Secret Wars would be the ideal way to bring in X-Men Fantastic Four into the MCU. And could Secret Wars be an event big enough to bring back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? I mean, you're talking about Secret Wars is big.
It's been going on for
It's
a while.
gonna happen.
Is it going to happen soon?
If Deadpool
Hugh?
comes in.
What's that?
Hugh or Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, I think, will happen at some point, but it needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Are you talking about is Hugh Jackman as coming back soon? Is that going to happen soon?
Well,
or...
no, Secret Wars, like Secret Wars, it would have to happen soon for Hugh Jackman to come back as Wolverine.
True.
Not necessarily. Old Man Logan.
That's not
Does it
Secret
fit
Wars,
Secret
is it?
Wars?
No, but you could always fit. I'm saying like
I mean, just for men, he could always look
Hugh-
young.
Just
doesn't
like
have to.
The Last Jedi.
I'm saying Hugh as Logan, not done yet. Not
According to
by
him, he is.
any chance. Yeah, he can say that all he wants.
It's got.
You're not going to
He-
accept it.
I will not. He also
Wolverine
said
the
that
musical.
Oh.
that may be what it gets him.
Yeah.
He said if Deadpool comes back, he would come back.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah, we have heard that too. Shannon's chiming in with Deadpool. We don't have her on mic this time.
What would the Logan musical
if
be
Deadpool
called?
comes back, I guess I'm not following.
I mean, not back, but
Another Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
What would the Logan musical be called? Schnicked.
No, too easy. It's too easy. Oh yeah. So I was trying to think. It's like there's got to be something clever right there, and there's really not. Like I can't figure it out.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. So Secret Wars. If the Russo brothers, if Infinity War is as good as they're saying, if they start developing Secret Wars now, you're probably talking I would guess a 2021, 2022 release.
Yeah, you could do that.
Something like that. Like, it may screw up Marvel's whole Phase 4, unless Phase 4 or whatever phase they're in at this point, 19, whatever, is Secret Wars to unify the universe. One universe to rule them all.
God, we have made like Highlander, Star Wars, Cher,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, all of it today. That's amazing.
I think Cher takes the cake.
That Cher was a good
I think
pull,
it's
I'm not
funny
gonna
because
lie.
we both.
The others are just a scavenger hunt every episode. Cher is the key.
That's true. Like,
Cher finds a way. Jurassic Park now. Check that one off.
there's a joke in there about Cher looking like a raptor. I just don't know exactly where it is.
I think it's that Cher looks like a raptor.
It could be. I don't know. I feel like Sam, I have a task for you if you're listening. I need you to get a video of Cher, and I need you to get the raptor sound, and you know what to do. We will post this up next week. Secret Wars might be very cool, assuming it's done.
I mean,
we ask a lot of Sam, and here's the thing. Everything that Sam does for us, like, he just does out of the goodness or insanity of his own heart. And so what he chooses to and not to do is completely up to him.
Yeah.
But we need raptor Cher.
I'm convinced though that he enjoys it.
I agree.
Oh, he does. He has a lot of fun.
So that could be, I don't know. Secret Wars could be very cool.
I think it would be neat to see that on screen because it's such a long saga. You know what I mean? Like it's been going on for a very long time.
And it brings literally everybody in.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Have
Have you guys both read Secret Wars or any of it at all?
What's funny is I just started it like 2 nights ago.
So
I didn't
where
know
did
this
you
was on the
start?
agenda.
Like where did
I
you
added
actually
Secret
start?
Wars 1.
So like the original one or like when they
No, the 2015 storyline
Okay,
is where
okay.
I'm starting.
Okay. See, that's the thing that gets me sometimes about comic books is I never know where to start because some of the stuff I haven't read. And like Batman, for example, there's so many iterations of it that it's like, where do you start? Or
Batman's
or,
getting married July 4th.
yes to Catwoman, right?
Yes, July 4th, 2018. It's the official wedding date.
I'm sure
They're
that'll go
sending out
down without a
invitations.
hitch.
Did you see that?
Of course, it will go down without a hitch.
Did you see that?
The invitations?
Yeah.
Yep,
Did you get one?
Of course I did. I'm Batman.
Not very good at keeping your identity.
I was gonna say, I mean, don't tell everybody or anything.
Just
Jeez.
Iron Manned it out there.
We're only on the World Wide Web at the moment,
Yep. So
on the internets.
internets. the intertubes. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna completely derail for just 1 second because this isn't on the agenda.
Were we
but
not already derailed?
Oh, we're gonna get way more derailed.
Yeah, we were talking about Share Raptor.
Sharaptor.
Do you think that's why she wrote that song?
Turn back
If I
time.
could turn back time, I'd be a raptor.
I'd be a raptor. Nick, you cracked it. Like, that's what it is.
All those family road trips having to listen to that at full blast.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
He forgot the part that he was singing along, but
No, I absolutely was singing along. It was my mom's favorite song. I sang
Nice.
along all the time.
Raptors, Tramps,
On
and Thieves.
cassette tape, kids.
cassette tape.
Hang on, we'll have to rewind.
Yeah. They let's talk about the internet for a second. Have you seen the clips from the Zuckerberg thing in front of Congress?
Some of them, yeah.
Some
Have
of
you
them are
seen
pretty
quite
funny.
the
hilarious.
absolute idiotic questions that the Congress people were
Yeah.
asking?
Yep.
Yeah.
These are the people in charge of the these
The
are
internet.
Are these people in anything with the FCC? Like, I don't even understand. I mean, granted, I get that it's what I do for a living, and so
No,
My knowledge
it's pretty
is-
self-explanatory when he answers the question and they continue to ask the same
question. No, how can you sustain a business that has no recurring revenue? He's
We
like,
sell ads.
Senator,
run
we have
ads.
ads.
Yeah.
And the look on
he
his-
smiled. That's the
Yes,
funniest part.
yeah. He's stifling a laugh the whole time.
the Zuckerberg smirk. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, and then the senator said, like, one of the senators asked him, so if I post something on Snapchat
what's that?
or WhatsApp, that's what it was, and he's like going back and forth, can you guys communicate and pull data? Well, no, sir, they're not connected. We don't pull data. He goes, no, I understand that, but can you do this? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
dude,
can't-
like I'm not really following what you're asking here.
You failed if you tried to be quiet.
Hilarious.
The
I stopped right at the wrong time.
the
No, It's hilarious
it really
and scary.
it's scary. Like, here's the thing. This is what those congressmen and women should have done. Go to the people who were their assistant to stuff like that. Tell me an intelligent internet question to ask Mark Zuckerberg. Like, explain the internet to me. This is the internet tubes all over again.
What here? My thing is, why was that one guy so concerned about the WhatsApp? Is that part of this whole thing?
Somebody
that I
should be
just
looking
don't
at
know?
whatever he's doing.
Why
in
is he
WhatsApp.
so
That's what I
concerned?
wanna
I
say.
mean, after about 2 weeks worth of not being at work because people didn't, politicians don't keep promises. We gotta, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Oklahoma walkout. Just do your own research. But after all of that, one thing I've learned is that politicians cannot be trusted at all, ever.
or have any sort of common sense.
Yeah.
Like especially when it comes to technology.
I mean-
I don't get it.
He's obviously concerned that Facebook knows something about him.
Oh yes.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have kept asking the same question.
And in the back, okay, you can
Very specifically.
and you can also
Yeah.
not tell me that in the back of Zuckerberg's head, he's just like, because one of the senators asked, could you take all of my information, put it in a file, and give it to somebody else or something along those lines? He's like, no, we would never do that. And he looked very offended at the question. In the back of his head, he's like, dang right, I've got a file on you, and I'll sell it to whoever I want to if you keep this up. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's probably the scarier part of it is the fact that while, yes, he did look offended when that question came about.
yeah.
Because it's unethical, you
Yeah.
know. And I felt like he answered it, accurately and correctly. You could tell, though, his wheels are turning like, I don't have it yet, but I'm going to get one in a minute.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like it can be on my phone in 2 seconds.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I can project it across everything.
I don't understand how, if you go into I understand that technology is not their wheelhouse, and that's not what they do. Maybe they do policy.
Then
or
they
something like
shouldn't
that.
be on the committee.
They shouldn't be on. Well, it's that, or they should have prepared.
No,
better
they shouldn't
than
be
that.
on the committee.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I don't know that committee is technology based. That was
But if
that
you-
was just in front of a congressional. That was a congressional panel.
I guess what I'm saying is, just like any other career in the world, most careers in the world, I guess I should say, you have to have some level of knowledge before you can enter that career. Now, I realize that they're lawmakers and they may not necessarily be hyped to the game, but if they're going to be put in front of somebody that is that knowledgeable, you've got to do your homework. You've got to be prepared. Or you just have to know what you're talking about to some
And
degree.
the thing is, for those hearings on those panels, stuff like that, it's about congressional tenure. It's not about knowledge of the topic. It's who's been there the longest. And so that's
yeah, okay. I mean, well, like for example, I look at the Betsy DeVos, which is our U.S. Secretary of Education.
If you want to call her that, sure.
Well, that's her title, and so during that hearing, I felt like all of the people that were grilling her knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, and I think
To a degree. I mean, maybe
yeah.
maybe they don't know every aspect of it, but she definitely didn't know any of it. But my point
Bears.
is, yeah,
What?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, bears.
Bears.
And so, yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Bears. Yeah.
Was that
That was her answer to one of the questions.
Gun
control? Yeah.
In case a bear
Yeah,
breaks into the school.
So I started to
Freaking
make
Yogi
that.
Bear stealing the picnic
Listen,
baskets.
I
come
started
on.
to make that joke, and I thought I'm gonna walk away, but now I can't. I mean, that was so funny. In case of a bear.
Case of a bear.
Literally thought she was joking for a second.
No, she's dead serious.
And then when she kept up and was going,
Yeah.
Dead serious.
I just. But the thing
We don't need to get on all that. but-
Yeah, no, I mean the thing. I agree with you, Nick, 100%. That if you're gonna put somebody in front of you, like a Mark Zuckerberg, you better be ready to play ball because he's gonna make you look like an idiot
Well, and like
without trying.
that's what I'm saying. For him, it was easy because he was just answering idiotic questions.
Yeah, after all the congressional hearings were done, every headline I saw was Congress fails Facebook hearings. Congress fails this. Like,
Because I guess that's my frustration with just government as a whole. I'm not
Yeah.
anti-government, just I'm frustrated with the process of it all. But like that's an example right there of how we elect people to do a job and they get put in these positions and they have no knowledge base.
yeah.
And that is terrifying.
Like I understand that maybe some of those people who are on that panel, you know, their policy or their experience may be, you know, could be economics or foreign policy or, you know, something like that. Like I get that.
Sure.
Like there's no technology division of Congress, but like you said, they looked very poorly prepared. Let me
I
put
mean,
it
they
that
have
way.
assistants that are paid to do something.
Oh yeah.
Do
And
it.
they're the ones running their Twitter accounts.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, man. Come
Exactly.
on, you know, like
Just do it.
I don't know. I worry about what that because I all of those congressional hearings are so worldwide. I mean, people see that and they look at us as Americans and they're like, "Boy, these guys are idiots." You know, and it's, that I think that's more terrifying than anything else.
Yep.
You know, it's
You know
just
what
a
else?
bad example.
You know what else is terrifying?
What's that?
Terminator.
Yeah, a little
"That's the
bit.
best segue ever."
Thanks for getting us off the derail boat.
So let's talk about Terminator. There is a new Terminator. This kind of goes along with the
Is
Marvel
it
stuff
going
we're
to
talking
come
about.
out whenever we find out that Elon Musk has his internet in space now?
The space, yeah. What names did we come up with? There was like
Skynet?
there was
SpaceNet.
Skynet, SpaceNet,
It's above the sky.
Musknet.
Musknet. Somebody broke
sounds
down.
worse than
So
it
what are
is.
the names of his rockets? What were the names?
You talking about-
Somebody broke down those rockets that he launched as to what they actually mean. So like
was it Falcon and all that other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Falcon. Well, if you say it, think about what it says in your head if you put cool after the end of it.
Okay. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And there was another one that what's the other one? What's the other rocket's name? Wasn't there was
Cap?
I can't
Huh?
remember.
Cap?
Well,
Raccoon?
one's Falcon.
Oh my god.
I'm going with raccoon. I don't know about you guys.
Anyway, my
Was that the
point
Falcon
was,
that was always on the left?
yeah, my
Or the rockets?
was
Screwed that up.
okay.
On your left.
I'm just looking this up.
All right. So there's a new Terminator.
Crest.
Gabriel
Falcon
Luna.
Crest.
Okay, Crest, nice. Gabriel Luna, who played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is going to be the new Terminator, coming up with the new Terminator movie. So it's going to start a new trilogy of films, but here's the weird thing. According to this article, or to articles that I've read, this Terminator movie retcons everything, including T2, which I don't get.
I don't either because that's such an iconic
Basically,
movie. How do you get rid of
this
that?
is after T1 forward. Like, which I don't understand why you would retcon T2. And James Cameron is in on this. Also, allegedly, the spots for Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton in this movie, their roles are very, very small. Which I'm
Aw.
also not in favor. Like, Schwarzenegger, I get. Like, he can show up, do whatever. But I was really looking forward to Crazy Linda Hamilton. I'm
I
not
was
gonna lie.
too.
So I'll be real curious to see if somebody if they start hopefully dealing with, with some of that things. Mackenzie Davis, who was on Halt and Catch Fire, also in Blade Runner, has also been added to the cast as some sort of assassin. And you have to wonder if she is a different in time Sarah Connor.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a if this does in fact retcon T2, people they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, just because T2 was such a,
I think
it pushed the limits so much on cinema.
Oh, at the time, yeah, and it
Can't even say the word
it
now.
holds
Cinema.
up.
Yeah, the storyline holds. I'll be happy to accept it, but if they retcon T2, I won't turn against the movie, but I won't accept. I just won't look at it as canon.
Right, yeah.
Everything since then has been like an Ultimate movie. It feels like so
Yeah.
different
That's a good
universe,
point,
and
too,
it's been
yeah.
fun. It's been a fun ride. I seemed like I was the only person who enjoyed Salvation.
Oh, I loved it. That's
Okay.
the one with
Batman,
Batman, but who's the cyborg? What's
Wonder
his
Woman.
name?
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
Wonder Woman. Anyway, yes, I love that one.
Sam Worthington.
Sam
Sam
Worthington.
Worthington. Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, Avatar.
Yeah,
Luke.
that's right. So back to the Tesla
Sully.
thing real quick. So the last rocket that I was thinking of is BFR. What is that? Come on, guys, think
That's a
about
big
that.
freaking rocket.
Yeah. I don't.
Here's the
think
thing.
I don't think that's what that means.
You're putting rockets in space
And
can
landing
name
them.
You can name it whatever the heck you want.
My point is not that he can't. My point is that it's awesome that he's doing it. That's my point. And apparently, his models for his car were supposed to be the Model S, the Model E, and the Model X.
Of course.
Ford sued for the Model E, so it got Model 3. But what
Gotcha.
does that spell in your head? There you go.
Good
There's
job,
actually-
Elon.
There's actually an image of it's from Tesla's Twitter from July 28th. It says exactly what I was. Says the S, the 3, and the X on a bridge together.
Nice.
Well, if you do so much for the world, you can slip in a little joke every now.
I'm not hating on him. I
No,
think it's
I think it's
fantastic that
kinda
he's
hilarious.
doing it, and we all are buying it and totally not paying any attention to it until just now. Like, I think it's hilarious.
I wish I was buying that. The car.
The
They're
car,
pretty- they're
not the
pretty
other
cool,
thing.
man.
Yeah, you can go
that's
ahead
illegal
and just
unless
phase
you're
that
like
out.
in Reno.
Vegas, unless you're in Vegas. Or Rio, maybe. Reno.
Terminator movie, November 22nd, 2019.
That's fantastic.
It's got to put a button on that one. All right. Let's talk about other random movies. In the last Fast and Furious movie, The Rock and Jason Statham, Hobbs and Shaw, they had their whole little back and forth.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
officially getting a spin-off movie. They have a director. It's the guy who directed Deadpool 2. So that movie is happening.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Is it going to be called Hobbs and Shaw?
I don't know that a title has been announced yet. So this director, he also did Atomic Blonde, which is also getting a sequel, which I don't understand. So we're gonna
It's pretty cool that they're going to get their own breakaway movie.
actually, you joke, and it literally says movie currently titled Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I was totally just making a joke.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool because the thing is you see them in a couple of movies together and they hate each other at first and they become friends towards the end. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's the insults I'm looking forward to. Like,
Absolutely.
it definitely fits like that Deadpool type of humor.
Well, I
Like,
think it fits both of their attitudes for those characters too.
Yeah. So, speaking of The Rock, Rampage opens this weekend, has over a 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which for a video game movie is an all-time high. And so The Rock tweeted about it and said, "Hey, we might actually finally break the video game curse. It's currently sitting at 53%, and I would know because I was in that stinker Doom." And so the official Doom Twitter account responded, just said, "Dwayne, period." And that was it. Like-
Oops.
So even The Rock can be called out. So
On the internet.
on the internet,
Are you calling him out to his face?
maybe from far away.
You better be real far away because I think he can run.
According to the Skyscraper trailer, he could run and also pull a cliffhanger and jump like 300 feet.
Yep.
So
And not die.
And not die. In brief DC movies, yeah, we talked about how the Batgirl movie got shelved because Joss Whedon's like, I don't have a story. Well, it's back alive. So there's a new writer attached to it. Christina Hodson is writing a new script, which is none of the people that we talked about, saying that I would write a script, all the Twitter response, like, hey, I'll write something, I'll write something.
Yeah.
She worked on the Birds of Prey script for Warner Brothers in 2016. She also wrote the Transformers spinoff Bumblebee that's coming this December.
Okay, when I saw, and this is just where my brain is. When I saw Batgirl and then I saw the name Bumblebee, I was thinking of the DC character that's Bumblebee. Because I wasn't thinking Transformers.
Is there a Bumblebee DC character?
There is. I promise you. I have a poster of her sitting on my dining room table right now.
I'm going to trust him on this.
Because Harper picked it out.
Bumblebee.
Yep.
Interesting.
I couldn't tell you what she does or anything.
Okay.
But McDonald's was giving out their toys whenever they were launching that DC Superhero Girls line.
See, I think of the...
Blue Beetle?
Not Blue Beetle. She was in Arrow or Flash, not Cher. She's played by Emily Kinney. She was in either Arrow or Flash.
Queen Bee?
I can't remember what her name was. Maybe that's the DC Superhero Girls iteration of her.
Maybe. I really don't know. I don't know anything about her, but that's who I thought it was. I thought, oh, wow, we're getting a Bumblebee movie. Cool. Wrong Bumblebee.
Wrong Bumblebee.
But that's okay.
I don't understand the Transformers Bumblebee movie either. So
I mean, what, is he just going to talk in radio the whole time?
That would be... It's Cher. It's Cher. Like, Bumblebee is voiced by Cher.
Does Cher ever come up in Transformers?
Probably.
She's probably one of them.
At this point, she's probably older than them. So let's get into...
Probably? Like, is that questionable? Like, I don't know.
She's Sheridamus Prime.
Sheridamus Prime. Let's get into some gaming. Apparently, if you are a... share scream, nice. If you are a video game collector, you might want to pop those old NES cartridges. You might find some drugs.
Right? Was that not the craziest story ever?
Apparently, a person who I lost his name. Julian Turner purchased some old NES games last month. Opened them up and found a copy of Roller Games and a copy of Golf. He says he knows something was amiss because they aren't. I guess those games aren't common here, and the games felt too heavy. So he opened them up, and there's drugs inside. 4 plastic bags full of drugs. He called the cops. What type of drugs have not been divulged yet. But this is not the first time that something like this has happened. He said another copy of Golf had previously been found stuffed with $5,000 worth of cash dating back
by
to
the same guy.
So
that's crazy. That's not something that I would think,
because if you open an NES cartridge, like the game itself is tiny, like 80% of that cartridge is empty.
Right.
And so,
the fact that he was so knowledgeable to recognize that it felt heavy too.
Yeah.
And then the label threw him off as well.
Yeah.
I don't know that if I picked an NES cartridge up, I might notice it was heavy, but I don't know that I would have noticed anything else.
Yeah. That's it's crazy though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me that somebody could be so knowledgeable that multiple things stood out.
Yeah.
It's cool.
They so the hottest game on the internet right now is Fortnite, of course.
I saw this video where this teacher took a kid's phone and was running through the classroom playing Fortnite because he got caught playing. So she took his phone and was playing for him.
That goes along with the teacher who got him to change the load screen.
Right, I thought of that when I saw
great.
it. Yeah.
Apparently, in December there was a major defection from. Excuse me. There was a major defection over to the Fortnite team from Epic Games. To the point that Cliffy B, who did of Gears of War fame, basically tweeted at Epic Games and said, "Could you please stop trying to hire away my team?" He runs a studio called Bosky Productions. He says, "We're really happy with how it's going." A new game called Radical Heights, and apparently that there was a major defection from studios over to the Fortnite people because they've got to be hiring people like crazy at this point, trying to keep up with everything.
It still blows my mind that it's a free game.
It's built on microtransactions basically.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just hugely popular given the fact that it's a free game.
And the fact that so it was down for about 20 or 12 hours or something like that a couple days ago, as they were introducing some new updates, stuff like that. We figure it's a free game, it's down for 12 hours, you don't owe the players anything. Nope, they're giving their players like some loot crates and stuff like that to say sorry for the outage.
That's pretty cool.
Sure. I mean, I don't why not, I guess. So
I think Destiny should do that every week. Give you a free loot crate.
I don't even know what game you're talking about right now. It's a pirate's life for me.
Yeah.
Arr.
Yeah, I'm out on that one.
Dude, I've been having so much fun. There's a lot of so this. Oh, let me tell you something Destiny related that is happening. That's related to pirates. Is so one of the streams that I watch and churches watch them too. King Gothalion is probably one of the top Sea of Thieves streamers. He's going to Bungie next week. They're having basically a streamer summit where they're going to play the DLC and they're going to give no holds barred feedback to Bungie before its release. And basically, he's come out and said, if it sucks, I'm just going to flat out tell you it sucks and not to buy it. Like, there's nothing that Bungie's doing that says you can't say anything or whatever. So they're actually getting some real-world input from real-world, well-known players, whether or not it's going to be good or not.
So with the versions that you and I bought, does the DLC come with it, or is it
yes,
separate?
that's the last free DLC we get.
Gotcha.
Now, that's not the first time they've done this, right? That they do this with the last DLC pack?
The Summit, I don't know that they did it with the last DLC pack because
Maybe not a Summit, but
because it was pretty much already done when the game launched. Like there's really nothing to see. So I think they may have done it in D1. Maybe after with feedback for Taken King or something like that. But
I remember actually watching someone that was a Twitch streamer review. What was this last one called? On D2.
I don't remember.
With
Something.
Osiris. Curse of Osiris?
yeah.
Trials
that's
of
what it
Osiris. Yeah, Curse of
Curse
Osiris.
of Osiris.
I remember watching someone detail it and gave a brutally honest review of it. And it was probably a week away from coming out. And said if you're a Destiny fan, you're going to like it. It's more of the same. It's quick to get through. But you're going to have enough fun with it to make it worthwhile. If you're just starting to get into it, it's going to hold off until you like the game because it's basically just more of the same, which is kind of an MO.
It's not unusual for people to get early release stuff. Like Goth got, he got Far Cry or something like that, like 3 or 4 days before launch, stuff like that. He still sailed the 7 seas. So that could have certainly been an early release thing. We're still a month or more away from this, and so I'm hoping on purpose that there is that there's still time to tweak and make some changes, because Bungie's announced some changes to D2 in terms of weapons and things like that, but they have done absolutely nothing to drag me back in. I would rather sail a sloop alone than grind through that anymore. Because there's nothing to get. Like right now, there's nothing for me to do.
No, we're all
Destiny.
maxed out.
Yeah,
I'm not, but yeah, I mean, I'm almost there. I'm like 350?
I don't remember.
335 is what it is.
Is it?
And I'm at like 333, but I mean, even that, I struggle to, like, I played Iron Banner, I think, the last time it came around, and it's fun, but at some point it gets very monotonous. Just do the same things over and over again.
Yep. Which, strangely enough, Sea of Thieves is very much like that. You're doing similar things over and over again.
Do you think it's just different, though? It's a different type of game.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing, but I also think there are, even though you're doing the same thing over and over again, and it's certainly a grind, and I understand some people's problem with it, there's a certain amount of risk reward to it that just doesn't exist in other games.
There is. You're right, actually.
You're not going to get your ship taken and lose all of your loot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Destiny is a similar experience over and over again, and Sea of Thieves does have that. Destiny still feels like a more linear series of choices. Strikes are usually going to be the same. Missions are going to be the same. You can go do not bounties, but you can go to one of the maps and stuff. But it's relatively the same stuff you're doing over and over again. There is some of that to Sea of Thieves, but it's like you said, you can choose a lot of different ways to do it, or just not do it, or do something entirely different.
Just go harass a ship.
You
just for the
can
fun of it.
can commit such heinousness as that.
I mean,
Yes,
one of
been
my
done
issues
that.
with Destiny 2, and I love it, and I'm not a Sea of Thieves adapter. I tried, and I just wasn't into it. But, you know, the thing for me is, like, Destiny is broken when you continue to get the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you complete a totally new task, and you get 5 of the same weapon, or 5 of the same boot, or whatever it may be, you know, at some point, that's a problem.
They're supposed to be fixing that in one of the latest patches, I believe.
They haven't fixed it as of like last week.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, let's we can move on from that. Except for another game like Fortnite that was also really popular was PUBG. Well, now
Mine
There-
is still in the wrapper.
there is Chance the Rapper. There is a
I don't know about that.
No parappa.
there is a ransomware called PUBG ransomware now, where basically it's a joke ransomware. Like, it does actually encrypt things or whatever, but the jokes or the little text file says your files are encrypted by PUBG ransomware, but don't worry, it's not that hard to unlock it. I don't want money, just play PUBG for 1 hour.
Great.
It says it
That's
doesn't
pretty
even take an
creative.
hour of gameplay to unlock the files. According to the reports, 3 minutes of gameplay will do the trick. Also, the programmer includes an unlocked code, so there's really nothing to ransom. Like, it's just... But
It's
this
just
goes to show you at this point just how easy it is to get people to encrypt their stuff. Like, it is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. And, I mean, the number one way that this stuff happens is through email. And people do, sending emails, opening attachments, all that other stuff. And so Gmail's been kind of doing this redesign project that's been going on for a while. There's a couple cool things that are happening in Gmail stuff that's going to be nice. Is going to be self-destructing emails and password encrypted emails. And so it could be
It's like Mission Impossible.
yeah. I know. As long as
Will
my
it
computer
play the
doesn't
Mission
smoke.
Impossible theme?
I feel like that's something that could happen.
I need that in my life.
And then when the email goes away, I need not real smoke. I just want to think of smoke on my computer screen.
Or like a 8-bit hacker's version of fire exploding out of the screen.
That's what you need, like a
Yes.
Minecraft fire.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's
Make it happen, Google.
there's some new things happening. Google Calendar, Google Keep, Google Tasks are getting all new stuff. But self-destructing emails are coming, and a new icon called Confidential Mode, which it allows. It basically says when clicked on, a message pops up saying options to forward, download, or copy this email's contents will be disabled. So if I send you an email and it's confidential, you literally don't have the ability to copy out of it, do anything of it. I don't know if
good.
that's going to prevent screenshots like a la Snapchat, but it will. But that's very interesting to see if something like that. There's also one that can they can set expiration dates and optionally require an SMS passcode to open the email. So
Pretty cool.
we talked about how email has to evolve over time. Because open email just won't, because it's so easy now to spam and get infected and all this other stuff, that now is the time that email is going to evolve. Maybe Google is going to be at the forefront of that.
True. I mean, they're in a position to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in the coming weeks, they're saying for this new version of Gmail, so that'll be interesting. I do like Gmail. It's even though they're reading everything I write, I don't really care because I'm not hiding anything. Like, same thing
Yeah.
with Facebook. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
we do a podcast for Pete's sake. Like,
we're on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere else.
Exactly, yeah. So I have been wandering around on Twitch and Mixer as Gather the Nerds, playing some Sea of Thieves over the past day or two. So like us, follow us over there. You will likely see me playing Sea of Thieves badly, sinking ships, mainly my own, and doing some other shenanigans as well. We might tweak that a little bit in the coming weeks, but just kind of expanding our presence a little bit, and just another opportunity to interact, come play games with us, things like that could be pretty fun. Although our Sea of Thieves crew, I'm not gonna lie, is pretty amazing. So it is vastly entertaining, especially when Mitch is
Avast.
vastly entertaining, especially when Mitch is just running around the ship. He's like, "Oh man, look at that sunset." I was like, "You were supposed to drop the anchor." Like,
I mean, I
that is
will
what
say
happens.
when I played Sea of Thieves with everybody, I did have a more fun time than by myself. However, the size of the crew is a problem.
So there is a new ship type coming. So Sea of Thieves released a new update, or basically a roadmap. There's a new ship type coming. Some people are theorizing if it is a bigger crew or a mid-sized ship. So you could run maybe like 3 people in a sloop size or something like that. So the crew size stuff that problem may be getting solved.
I hope that it's more like a larger crew.
One of the
Like
most
an 8-person.
Well, like enough to where let me say it this way.
Give
if
me
I
a
decide to
Titanic.
buy the game, like let's just say you guys convince me to buy the
I want a
game.
battleship.
I
There
need
you
a
go.
steamer. I have to shovel
I
coal
just need
in.
a submarine. I want to be able to play with my friends. I don't want to just play with some randoms or
Yeah.
wait for Cav to go to bed at 7:00 at night or whatever it may
I
be.
need my beauty sleep.
Yeah, in order to be able to join a game. You know what I'm saying?
My biggest thing would be setting it where, say, Cav starts playing, and then I get home from work 30
you
minutes
jump
later,
in.
and we can jump in.
Just like a fire team on Destiny.
They
Right.
are doing something with invite-only ships, and so that problem may be solved. with
That's
that,
how it
too.
should be.
Okay, I'm telling you, if those couple of things happen to where we can all be on the same ship,
Yeah.
as if we were in a fire team in Destiny, then and you can join in whenever you get the time. So like if you guys are playing, I can join in, boom, done. I might be back, but
The thing will be this new ship. Like, you can run a sloop with 1; it's easier with 2. A galleon, you need at least 3.
you can only have 4, right?
You can run 4, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I can't. If I start a game with 1, I'm going to be on a sloop, not a galleon. If I start a game with 2, I'm not going to be on a galleon. I'm wondering about if the ship is going to be mid-size, and maybe you can run it with 2, 3, or 4, something like that.
I just don't even see why they can't set it to where, regardless of how many people, regardless of the type of ship that you have, why can't you have 5 of your friends on a sloop? It's not like it's going to weigh it down. I mean, it's a ship.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a teamwork thing or something. Now I was watching a stream this weekend, and there were 6 or 7 people on a galleon. Now, they were not all on the same team, but there were 7 people on a galleon. Now, I don't know how they had, decided to split up loot or whatever, but it was the most amazing thing when another galleon showed up with 4 people and sunk the galleon, killed all 7 or 8 people, and sunk that galleon and stole all their treasure.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I mean, that's my point. Is like if you
Yeah.
can have more, if joining in on the game would allow you to join whatever ship the person has, that changes the gameplay aspect for me, because I'm not able to get on any game until around 8:00. That's the time that you're exiting, making your exit, and then usually like Phil or Mitch or somebody else is on,
Yeah.
and I have to wait until they're done with what they're doing to be able to join gameplay.
Yeah.
Versus me just going boom, there I'm there now.
Hey,
Maybe
Megan,
I don't
hey,
get
Jay.
credit for whatever, but
it's a definitely. If it is a mid-sized ship, you can run with 2, but you can crew it up to 4. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be great, because then like me and Mitch could play, and then you could join or something like that.
I just
as
think that
well.
you got to get past the number of like 4 and 2. I think you have to.
You'll
give
get there.
Like 6, 7
You'll get
people in there.
They figured out how to make your ships fly uncontrollably on accident. Now you can do it. They figured out how to bug the game on purpose, basically, to make your ships fly. They call it the Flying Dutchman. I saw it as it was happening. It was the most amazing thing ever. Have you seen it? It is.
I'm telling you, I
it
put
is
the
awesome.
whole Sea of Thieves thing.
I
to
saw this
rest.
on a stream. I
Yeah.
saw it on a stream. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
no, I put the whole thing to bed. I haven't even looked at it,
So
other than you guys talking about it.
But you're right. There's a lot of different ways you can play the game, and it does make it feel like, this is my experience.
Yeah.
This is mine entirely, not what they want me to experience. I
Yeah.
can do whatever I want.
It is very open, and I do like that a lot.
I've actually been, like, on times where I'm just about to sign off or something, I'll go find the nearest sloop, and if I have anything still left and I don't have time to get to an outpost, I'll try and give it to them, provided they don't shoot me, but I'll sail up to them and be playing music. Get out the hurdy-gurdy. And then the last guy that I encountered, I was playing the hurdy-gurdy as I pulled up the ship, and and dropped anchor right next to his, and he was on the island. So he ran out to his boat real quick, jumped on the deck, and the only thing I had was a chicken coop. But it was an island where the chickens were. So I just swam over to his boat with it real quick, climbed up his ladder, and I got up there, and he was pointing the rifle right at me, and I just dropped it and then jumped off and swam back over to my boat.
Was he really confused about what was happening?
He was very confused, and then as soon as I got back over to my boat, he went, "Thanks." And then we played the hurdy-gurdy, and then I signed out.
Nice. Nice.
But yes,
See,
you can
it
do
brings
that.
people together. So
It does.
It brings people.
it brings
together.
people. I saw the Kraken live again today. It was awesome.
Did
amazing.
while you were
I
playing?
watched a stream
No,
of
I
somebody
streamed.
going, "What is this? I don't know, man. I've never seen it before. Is this? Did I just get krakened?" And then all of a sudden you see this tentacle come up out of the water.
I
It's
just get
pretty
krakened.
intense.
Yep.
Have you encountered it yet?
Not yet. Karen from HR is her official name. But
Is that is that what is that? Is
that
is
is
that the
that
office?
that I don't know, but I don't know what it is. But one of the Gathalion, they started calling her from Karen from HR, and apparently it's canon now. Like
There
so.
you go. You mean Are you talking about the Kraken?
The
is
Kraken
called
in the
that?
game, they call her like everybody now calls the Kraken Karen from HR. Like,
Okay.
I'm wondering if it's a Black Mirror reference.
it might be, but the funniest thing, so they're sailing through, they get the Kraken, they shoot the Kraken, they sail away and they survive, but a sloop is following them, and so a sloop goes, and they try and avoid the Kraken because the Kraken only exists where there's black water, like the water turns black like ink. And then the Kraken exists in that area. So they went to avoid Karen, and Karen just moved and just completely
That is awesome.
devoured their boat. It was amazing. So, and after this, I probably will go play a little bit more. Maybe I've got to get caught up on Walking Dead because the finale's tonight. So I might have like 5 hours of Walking Dead ahead of me tonight. I don't know. So I think this is going to wrap up. 83.
All right.
I got
Ocho
Threads with a Z.
Ocho Trace.
Ocho
He just had to
Trace.
get some more
Some
jelly beans.
Yeah, thanks for
welcome.
me editing that. Yeah. So next week will be I believe next week will be the Han audio, assuming I finish it. I've done bad with it because I'm not here next week.
okay.
If not, then we'll figure something out. But I will be gone. So until episode 85, which will be live, I assume.
Live at 85.
Live
There's the title.
at 85. All right. Until next time, I'm Cav. That's Nick.
See ya.
Church.
Be kind, guys.
See you guys. Bye. Hi, Facebook. We're still live.
Make
Well,
sure
I'm
you
going to
turn it
have
off.
some jelly beans.